it's your first time watching. If you've been watching for a while, tell me how long have you been following? Do not laugh at the way I look this morning, guys. This is 14 ways you can use a bronzer to shade your cheeks, your lips, and your eyes. I had one bronzer in my purse and a lip gloss. And my luggage is somewhere that's not where I am until this morning. We're going to pick it up. So anyway, I just want to welcome all of you. September is Mental Health Awareness Month and also Suicide Prevention Day. Tuesday was Suicide Prevention Day. Drop in the comments if you caught my Tuesday, September 10th live. If you missed it, you should go back and watch it. I interviewed a Hollywood actor. Many of you probably know him. He's been on Days of Our Lives, which is the only soap I ever watched back before I had a life. I used to record it, go home and watch it. Can you believe that? And then he was also on General Hospital. Some of you know. He was Taggart on General Hospital. His story was so inspiring. So that was on Tuesday. Monday night, I had an amazing night in Salina, Kansas with a ton of local people in Kansas. Wednesday night, had a great Zoom with our doctor, our frequency doctor. Those of you that don't know, we own a frequency company. I can't believe people don't know this, but I'm literally having people say to me, like, what's frequency? Like, what's frequency? How could anybody be following me and not know what frequency was? So anyway, Frequency 2 Nutrition, a company that we founded and started beta testing last November, not even a year ago. Over 20,000 customers, over $1 million a month in revenue, featured at the DSU next Tuesday as one of the most amazing startups and companies exploding in 24-25. This week, we also had an article printed on us about a AAA plus rating. I'm humbled. I'm absolutely humbled. I do No Guts, No Story every Saturday morning for free just to empower people. But I'm telling you, if you don't know, you should know how to change the way that you feel. And it's my goal every Saturday morning that when we get off of this live stream, you feel better than you did when you came. So drop in the comments where you're watching from. If you're watching live, say live. If you're watching replay, say replay. I am getting myself together mentally here this morning after an amazing long week. And I hope that all of you are too. So today I'm going to be traveling to Tulsa, Oklahoma to pick up my luggage that went to the wrong Fayetteville yesterday. Any of you guys know that there's 2 Fayettevilles in the United States? There is a Fayetteville, Arkansas, and there is also a Fayetteville, North Carolina. And I, being the Barb that I am, I'm human, I make mistakes. I booked my return flight yesterday. My husband was here at the lake. He said, I'll drive an hour and a half or hour, pick you up in Fayetteville. I said, I'll be there at 5. Little did I know I was going to the wrong Fayetteville, and he caught it just in time. I bought a last minute flight, the last seat on a Tulsa Delta flight, and he drove the opposite way an hour and 20 and picked me up. And I didn't even get in trouble, but he loves me, right? Unconditionally. I know I'm a lot. How many of you are a lot? How many of you are doing a lot? You know, you're the wife, you're the mom, you're the daughter-in-law, maybe you're the mother-in-law, you're the sister, maybe you're the brother, you're the dad, you're the grandpa, you're the father-in-law. Like, we're all doing, right? Well, I'm doing a lot. And sometimes I have a lot of tabs open and I'm doing all the things. And I just need to get back to my center, get in alignment and say, I need something for my cognitive thinking. I need something for my dreams, my goals, my energy, my focus, my mood, my tolerance of other people. And that is why I love to wake up and drink this drink. Now, I had a crazy conversation this week. I was talking to someone that is a recovering addict, and we were talking about mental health, and we were just talking about how much drinking a supplement with methylated B and frequency tuned in it and the 7 organic mushrooms and the nootropics, like what it does for him. And he said, it's crazy because I have a addiction group following of like 38,000 people. I said, oh my gosh, you have to get this product in all of their body, right? Like you've got to get it to anyone you know that's struggling. And he goes, well, I get a lot of pushback because it's mushrooms. And I was like, why? He was like, some people might think it's like psychedelics or something. And so they think I might be bringing that to a group of addicts. And I was like, I really need to address this because I wake up every day and I go live and I talk about rising and vibing and my mushroom drink and the happy juice and magic mushrooms and whatever all we say. And I just thought maybe I should explain myself. I have never even smoked a joint. I've never been high ever in my whole life. I know now you all think I'm a real weirdo, but I grew up in a family where there was a lot of that. Not on my mom's side. Boy, my mom's side was very strict Baptist. I couldn't even wear tight jeans or paint my fingernails. But when I went to my dad's side of the family, my dad was not an addict, but every sibling was. Every sibling. 7. Every single one of them. And, many of you know the story. He lost his only brother to mental health and addiction, took his own life. And I grew up with certain beliefs about certain things. I want to ask you guys something. What do you think? Like, what is your belief and what do you think? Some people are like, I've never experienced it. Some people are like, I have. Some people are very afraid of it. Some people are very judgmental. Some people are very bitter because addiction or mental health has caused them a lot of pain. And I think we should really have a candid conversation about this because I think there's so many different beliefs and your beliefs are your beliefs. And if you don't change your beliefs, there's nothing that I can do to change them. But I used to be judgmental. And I can't believe that I was. Like, I didn't want my kids around certain kids because I was like, I don't want them to do that. I tried to control them. I tried to make sure that, they knew drugs are bad, drugs are bad, drugs are bad. And I used to get in arguments with Dave's brother, my brother-in-law, about marijuana. Like, it was like it had caused so much pain in my life that we would literally like scream about it. Like, no, it's not okay. And it's funny because he did smoke before he married my sister and my sister was anti and Dave was like, I can't believe you never did. And I was anti and like, we were just always anti, right? Isn't it crazy that I own a manufacturing company and have manufactured THC-free CBD ever since the Farm Bill was passed for 1,200 companies, spas, med spas, pharmacies went to market. I was looking today at a flashback of me at market just 3 years ago. Even my little granddaughter under the table helping so many people with hemp, with CBD and no THC. So sometimes the reality is we don't understand, I want the healthy without the high, but sometimes we don't understand why people do the things they do. And now that I'm older and I'm wiser and I'm less judgmental, and if you don't humble yourself, God will do it for you. So I have been humbled and I have humility and I'm incredibly authentic. If you haven't noticed, I don't care what other people think anymore because I have so much conviction and I know what I know because of experience. So let me ask you, what do you think about when certain things happen? So you have a thought and then it triggers your emotion. And then because of your beliefs and your convictions, what do? So let's go back. What is happening in your life right now? Is everything amazing? Is everything good? Or are you that busy mom that's doing all the things and you're feeling a bit tired and you're feeling a bit resentful and you're feeling a bit sad and you're feeling a bit angry and you're feeling a bit overwhelmed and you're feeling and you're feeling and you're feeling and you're feeling. And so you feel and then you do. And so what I have experienced and what I have seen, and I'm older than a lot of you, especially in my business and in raising adult children, things happen, and my husband is just going way deep learning about this. We have a thought. The thought that we have triggers an emotion, probably a subscar from something that we have experienced in our past. So we have the thought, it triggers an emotion. We create an outlet, or we do something to do what? What does everybody want? They just want to feel good now. They just want to feel good now. So, what do you think? What do you feel? What emotion comes up? What do you do as an outlet? And then why? And so, here's what I've been observing. I've been journaling. We all have thoughts. All of those thoughts trigger certain emotions. We all get that emotion. Then here's my question. What do you do? Because you all do something. Some people smoke meth. Some people drink wine. Some people go get weed. Some people do a line of coke. Some people get on a medication of Xanax. Some people don't even know what they're doing. They're just taking anything that they can get to numb the way they feel. Some people cut. I used to speak in high schools, and I had a nonprofit from 2006 until 2014 when we did an alliance with our company. And I would go speak in schools, and girls would cut. They would literally cut their body. I remember a loved one of ours would take a lighter and like burn himself. And this is before any of us knew what we know now, right? Mental health is a real thing. It's just never been to the point that it is today that people can talk about it. So what do you think? What do you feel? What do you do? And why do you do that? Now, a deeper question, and I hope you're writing these down, is that helping you? Is that helping you? And if it's not helping you, let's figure out a solution. And so here's you. Here's where you want to be, right? Here's you. Here's the mountaintop that you want to be on. And then there is this gap in between. And this gap in between, you're either going to get clear on what you want, you're going to sacrifice, you're going to move towards it, you're going to get better, or you're going to settle. And most people settle because of their environment. And so this week on the road tour for our company, I've done a lot of reflecting. And the most powerful stories in the room are the people that had the most pain that created the most purpose. And there are other people who aren't in the room that have had the same pain, the same struggle, the same thought that created an emotion. And then they did something, and maybe they're not in the room. Maybe they're not even alive anymore. And that has created such a tug on this movement of mental health. Now, I told everyone a year ago in November, I'm going to be the whistleblower on this, and I'm not going to get the most popular vote. And some people are going to unfollow me. And some people are going to say, she's crazy. That's not going to work. And some people are going to keep doing what they've always done. They're going to keep getting what they've always got. They're going to be miserable for the rest of their life. And guess what? The strange phenomena is misery loves company. So your environment sees you wanting to get better, to feel good, and your environment wants to what? Pull you back down, like gravity. Why? Why? It's because they need someone to comfort them to feel like what they're doing is okay. They want you to do good, just not that good, because people have a tendency to influence you, to try to sell you on why their beliefs, their lifestyle, what they're doing is okay. And two things are going to happen. Either the people around you are going to sell you on why you should be more like them, and that's okay, or someone else is going to sell you on why you shouldn't settle. You should get better. You should make more money. You should get clean. You should get healthy. You should move your body. You should eat better. You should feel like you're worth more. And it's the tale of two salesmen. It's who do you listen to? I want you to write this down. This is the important phrase. Who do you listen to? What are they doing to you? Here's the big question. Is that okay? Is that okay? So I know I'm asking you a lot of questions. Drop in the comments. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think about? What is your dominating thought every single day? Because once you figure out what you think about every single day, what you want wants you. So a lot of people think, I'm going to be okay when my kid gets better. I'm going to be okay when we get our tax refund. I'm going to be okay when we have a new president. I'm going to be okay when my husband quits doing whatever he's doing. I'm going to be okay when my kids get into college and it's not so busy. I'm going to be okay. And the reality is, you're never going to be okay. There's always going to be things happening. I don't care who you are. I'm old enough to know every time I think as soon as I solve this, then this is going to be better, then there's a new level, new devil, right? So what we have to do is really train our minds how to handle thoughts, because thoughts are things. And I'm about to drop the hammer on you right now. Every thought is a prayer, and every single prayer you have is answered. So when you say things, your power of the tongue gives that thing you said power. My kid is a blank. You're going to get more of that. My husband is a blank. You're going to get more of that. My boss is a blank. You're going to get more of that. What you need to say is, my boss is so generous. He gives me way more than I deserve. I make more than most. I am so grateful for what I have. I am so fortunate. When you have that energy, even if you have to lie to yourself, I'm telling you, thoughts are things. They create a vibration. The vibration creates a reaction. The reaction brings whatever to you, and energy matches energy. This is why when people are so low, they want to go blare the lyrics of the song that validates that their feelings are real, and this is how they feel, and that they are accepted, and they are loved, and they are not judged, and someone else is in misery with them, because misery loves company. Misery loves company. So does success. And success loves speed. The more you do it, the more repetition, the more the habit, the stronger the force. Pretty soon you can't stop it. Like, you cannot stop a boulder going down a mountain. It is gaining momentum. It is gaining conviction. It's gaining belief. It's gaining frequency. It's gaining speed. And it's going with or without you. It gets over the top. It is going. And this is us every single day. We got to keep pushing the boulder, pushing the boulder, pushing the boulder, pushing the boulder. And sometimes we feel like we don't have enough strength to push anymore. But this is where you've got to have leverage. This is where you've got to have a support group, because I may not be able to move the boulder. And it's crazy. I have a huge chunk of driftwood over here sitting on my deck. And we were on the boat one day and I wanted it. It's literally part of a full-blown bottom of a tree. And my husband was like, you are not putting that tree root on the boat. And I was like, yes, I am. My sister's here. And he's like, no, you're not. And I've asked every day if I could get this tree trunk. I really want to make it like the bottom of a table. And when I go to market, the bottom of the table tree trunk is like $4,000. And I'm like, I have 20 of them out there on the island. So I wanted one. And everybody thought I was crazy, but my sister was there and she didn't think I was crazy. And my mom was there and she was just laughing. And I had all my nieces and nephews. So guess what we did? We went and we found the tree trunk and we used leverage. We got something under it. We got it into the water where it would float. And then we swam with the tree trunk to the back of the boat. And believe it or not, my nephews, little football players, got this tree trunk onto the back of the boat. But then we got it down here on the shore. And then I was like, yeah, it's probably going to sit down here on the shore. How are we going to get it rolled all the way up? This incline is high up to the house. But today, every time I see it sitting there, I say, I got the tree trunk. I got the tree trunk. How did I do it? I couldn't do it by myself. I needed someone else that believed. I needed leverage. I needed enough people telling Dave why I needed the tree trunk that it would outweigh the philosophy that it was crazy that I wanted a dead tree on my porch. And so there's power in proximity, right? It's why when you go in sales, 2-on-1 is better than 1. It's why when you're with friends and they're all making a good decision, they will say like, we need to take her home. Or you'll have all the ones that say, we should stay for last call, right? There's power in proximity and environment. And when you have a belief and you have other people that believe the way that you do, The more people that believe with more conviction, the more impact, the more of the movement. So here I am a year ago, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to talk about mental health. I don't care what people think. I'm going to talk about overdose. I really don't care what people think. I'm going to talk about the war with opiates in America. And I'm not going to care. It's a non-judgment zone. You think I'm a bad mom? Guess what? I don't care, because I know that I'm the best mom in the world. I did the best that I could do with what I had to raise amazing humans. And it's my most important job. Now, someone that does that, and they know that they're an amazing mom, and then their child makes the wrong decision. I saw a guy do this last month. I don't know what I did wrong as a father. I immediately went on there. I commented, I said, you did nothing wrong as a father. Everyone is on their own journey. Everyone's on their own journey. Think if Dave and I had not made mistakes financially, went bankrupt at a very early age, got arrested for a bad check, and learned the lesson. Can you imagine what my mom was thinking in a small town? Like, what is she doing? She's running a dance school. She has a salon. She has an antique and gift gallery. She just opened a coffee bar. All of these people know that she's a hustler. And then how did she get into trouble? How did my child make a bad decision and fail in front of the entire congregation? Well, it was humbling. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It was humbling. But here's the reality. I had to change my beliefs. What did I think? How did that thought affect me emotionally? What did I do with the emotion? So what do you think? What do you feel? What do you do? And why do you do it? A lot of people would have said, Dave and I are 23 and 24. We just went bust. We just had a car repossessed. We should go to the bar. Heck, we should go out to Dave's dad's house. At the time, Dave's dad was an alcoholic, and it was a place to be. Like, everybody hung out at Dave's dad's house. But Dave and I chose a different route, and we went against the current. And we said, we know that misery loves company. We know that the economy is bad. We know that our little small town has the worst alcoholism and drugs of anywhere in Kansas at the time. 30 minutes from us, Hays, Kansas was the alcohol capital of the world in 1996. Oktoberfest, Germans, beer, like it was the thing, right? And I remember Dave and I were kind of the outcast. I was a born-again Christian. I had been raised a Christian, but when my life was saved, when I gave birth to Brooklyn and they said that I was going to die, and I saw people lay hands on me and pray, and I watched my blood pressure go from 240/120 to normal, and I watched a body that was blowing up like a dead cow with toxic fluid get worse and worse and worse for 3 days, and then someone prayed over me, and like all the toxic fluid went into the bag that hadn't worked for 3 days with a catheter. If you would have saw my face, you know that song, I'm a believer. Like, I was full of conviction. I was like, oh my Lord, you just saved my life. I'm going to spend the rest of my life witnessing about what you did. And you guys, there was a lot of opposition. And sometimes when you're extra and you have a certain belief, you will literally chase people away. Like, I lost friends. I didn't get invited to weddings. I wasn't the girl that was going to the college and hanging out with all my friends that got into sorority at K-State or KU. I was changing diapers, making bottles, doing meetings, dialing for dollars, buying leads, driving the miles, showing the plan, selling a product. And that's back when social selling was not cool. So like, I was a pioneer before internet, before Facebook, before direct selling was cool. Like, I was a pioneer in the industry of direct sales, and I lost a lot of friends, and my circle got small because people didn't believe like I believed. So what do you think? What do you do? How do you feel? And why? So I started to change my environment and bridge that gap. So this was me, and this is where I wanted to be. And I knew I was going to need help getting there. And so I assembled a team. And I want to ask you guys a really simple question. If you needed to assemble a team and you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that you could be rich beyond your wildest dreams. You could be clean. You could be sober. You could be valued. You could be loved. You could have success. You could be celebrated. You could write a book. You could share your story. You could take the stage. You could start a nonprofit. You could make impact. You could build an empire if you knew that you couldn't fail. Now, let's be honest. If you knew you could not fail, there's no absolute way you could fail. God was going to bless you. It was going to be abundant. You were going to win. Let's be very vulnerable real quick. If you knew you could not fail and God had you, there was a safety net. There's no way. You jump from the top of the building, you're not going to go splat on the sidewalk. There's going to be a safety net to catch you. There's no way you can fail. Drop in the comments right now. No way you can fail. You can live out your dream. What are you going to do? What would you do today? Go crazy. Go crazy. Put it in the comments. There's no way you can fail. You can dream. You can go take a risk. No matter what, you're not going to fail. Describe that life to me. Tell me about your why. Tell me what you would do today, starting today, if you knew there's absolutely no way that you could fail. And then let's talk about this. Because why you do what you do is so that you feel okay. And you want to feel okay because you're validating a certain belief and it's comfortable. And so what I have noticed just watching people, they have a thought, it stirs up an emotion, and I don't have it all together. I don't have a degree in this, so just know this is just my opinion. And you can all tell me I have the right to be wrong, but I watch what people do. So some people run, right? Some people run. Some people go shop. Some people go fishing. Some people go smoke. Some people go drink. Some people want to book a trip. Some people want to sell everything and give up. They're like, oh my God, peace out. I'm done. Tapping out right now. People do the things that they do so they feel the way they want to feel. And I noticed early on in my career that I did what I did in order to feel loved. And when I did what I did in order to feel loved, if I wasn't doing that, I didn't feel loved. So my coping mechanism would be work. You know, if I wanted to feel validated, celebrated, important, loved, and you know, feel like everyone around me was approving, I had to work or I would feel guilty. And so my children grew up in a home. I was not an athlete. Dave always was. Dave's mom would have the entire bracket all the way to state. I don't care if it was track, if it was wrestling, if it was football. Like, she was the number one cheerleader of my children. My mom was not an athlete. She was a workaholic. I was not an athlete. I was a workaholic. And, you know, I was candidate for homecoming queen and my mom wasn't able to be in the stands. I was twirling a fire baton and my mom and dad were not able to be in the stands. I never had a lot of people going, you're amazing. Great job. You're the best. You're going to be awesome. But I watched what my parents did, and my belief and my conviction became belief stacked on belief, stacked on belief, stacked on belief, stacked on belief. Like, this is true because I'm seeing it being validated, right? So at an early age, I saw what happened in relationships. And I learned I needed to have a mentor to change my belief so that I could change the result. And I would take action that would stack confidence that all of these things that maybe had happened prior to me, generational beliefs, was not going to happen to me. I was going to break it. I was going to break the cycle. I was going to do something new. And so we did. And Dave and I did cut the fat. We did get a new environment. We did step out of certain habits and cycles and everyone being in the same routine. It was weird to miss a birthday party. It was weird to not be sitting at grandma's on Sunday watching the Chiefs all day. Did we love that? Heck yes, we loved that. You know, we loved to hang out with family all day and watch football, but we couldn't afford it. We couldn't afford it. And this is what I'm going to say to all of you. What do you think? What do you feel? What emotion comes up because of what you think? What do you do to feel okay? What is your outlet and why? And here's the part where most of you are going to stop watching. Is that helping you get to where you want to get? Like, let's have a real conversation. Is what you're doing getting you from where you're at to where you want to be? Or are you settling? Because most people are not very clear on their purpose. Most people will give up at the least bit of opposition. Dave and I, we do not give up. We do not give up. We get what we want. We know what we want. We will get what we want. It doesn't matter how long it takes. You can lock the front door. You can barricade the back. You can put bars on the garage. I'll come down the freaking chimney. I'm coming for what I want. And I need you all to have a dream and a burning desire. And you have to have patience. It takes hard work. But I want you to start dreaming. I want you to start thinking about what you want, not just what you want, but what you really, really want. How come I'm doing all these stupid lyrics? What do you want? What do you really, really want? Well, who you listen to is going to determine whether you get what you want or not. And sometimes you can't listen to the little man on your shoulder. In the magic of thinking big, there's the little man called victory, and there's the little man called defeat. And some of you are listening to defeat, 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 defeat. In Dave's book, The Thinking Cure, and if you don't have it, you should go get it. You should get 10 copies and give them to everyone you love, because he wrote it during the time that he was healing, mourning the loss of his little brother. And he could have then said, what do I think? How do I feel? What do I do? And he could have went down a horrible road. I mean, he was tempted every single day, but he wrote a book called The Thinking Cure. And it was almost like mind mapping, like mind weaving. Like, how do you get from where you're at? There's nothing good that you can think, nothing good about suicide, right? It was really hard to do the work. We would listen to Byron Katie. We would listen to everything. Dave was mad at God. He hated people. He thought money was bad. Like, you just want to be mad. And it's okay, because that's grief. That's real, right? But is that helping? So eventually Dave had to look at what happened, find the good, reframe that. So you look at the hang up, you find anything good about it. Even when you can't find any good, you try to find something good. It could have been worse if, or thank God it wasn't blah, blah, blah. Like, there's always something. You try to reframe it. You find the good. And here's the part most people don't do. You learn the lesson and then you move on. But you got to move on. You can't stay stuck. Most people are here. They want to get here. They have no idea how to bridge the gap. And I've probably spent $500,000 learning this. Like, I have been to so many seminars. I have been to so many events. I have done so much work to get to where I'm at. But you got to get on the same page with the people that are building an empire with you. And the ones that aren't building the empire, if they're not carrying bricks, they're either doing this. They're giving you energy or they're sucking energy. So look at the people that are around you and say, what do I do? What are my outlets? Are they giving you energy and building you up? Or are they sucking energy and tearing you down? Because there's not a gray area. They're either builder uppers or they're sucker downers. Builder uppers or sucker downers. And I really have to be careful the rooms I'm in, the conversations I even hear. Like, Tuesday night was brutal. I was like running from the TV. Like, how the hell are people going to listen to that and go do what I do? I couldn't. I'm like, I got to do a meeting tomorrow. Bye. There's controllables in life and there's uncontrollables in life. And sometimes you don't have to win every battle. What you want to do is win the war. And the war is your thoughts. The war is right up here in your head. So the thoughts are things. Every thought's a prayer. Every prayer is answered. What do you think? What emotion comes up? What do you feel? Then what do you do? And here's what I'm going to say to you guys. I work really hard. on me. I allow everybody else to be how they are. And sometimes I have to leave them how they are because I'm building an empire. I'm going to blow the whistle. I'm going to create a movement. I'm going to make impact. I am going to make it okay to talk about mental health. And for all of the people who don't want to talk about it, it's okay, but it's in their family. They're in denial. They want to cure it. They want to control it. They don't want anybody to know it. Guys, it's real. It's everybody you know, everybody you love. So, what do we do to help? Who are you listening to? What are they doing to you? And is that okay? The book I mentioned was The Magic of Thinking Big. So, who are you listening to? What are they doing to you? Is that okay? People are renting space in your brain and you don't even realize it. But when they say things, that's a thought that triggers an emotion, right? When they do things and you see it, you have a thought, it triggers an emotion. When you feel things, you had the thought, you had the emotion, you felt a certain way. Sometimes you take it personal. Sometimes you react. Sometimes you go do whatever you got to do to cope. Sometimes you're just angry. You're going to give them the silent treatment. Practice the art of allowing. Let people be however they are. It's not your job to change them. Like you're not Jesus. Just go be you and be you unapologetically. So I do a lot of things good and I'm also not good at a lot of things. And I know what I'm good at and I know my worth and I'm going to keep bringing value and I'm going to keep bringing value and I'm going to keep bringing value. I'm not going to worry about what anyone thinks, how many people are clapping, how many people are following, how many people are buying. I'm not going to care about how many people are hating, and I got a bunch of them. I'm not going to care about how many people are poaching, trying to take people out of my parade and bring them over to their parade. I'm not going to worry about how much money they offer them. I'm not going to be intimidated by what my competition does. I don't care because I don't have any competition, and neither do you. You don't have any competition. You're the greatest. God created you to be the greatest version of you, and you are the greatest masterpiece he ever created. He loves you unconditionally. He doesn't care what you've done. He believes in you. He puts thoughts and dreams in your brain and your heart every single day, and you won't listen. You will not listen. You have the dream. You even sometimes develop a burning desire for it, and then Mr. Defeat, the enemy is what I call him. And some people will be like, oh, it's not Satan. The devil's not real. It's not the enemy. Damn sure real in my life. Let me tell you that. You can believe whatever you want to believe, but he's real. And he gets on your shoulder and he gets in your head and he steals all your dreams and you let him. And I'm just telling you, this is your wake-up call. What do you think? How do you feel? What do you do? Why do you do it? Who do you listen to? What are they doing to you? Is that okay? Raise the rent. If you're going to let them rent space in your brain, raise the rent. Kick them out. Eviction notice today. I want to get in your head and tell you that you can co-create the life of your dreams. You can make more money than you've ever made in the next 90 days. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're a coach, a speaker, a teacher, a dancer, an actor, a network marketer, a social seller, a bass tournament fisherman like I see all over the lake. Like they make $40,000, $50,000 for catching fish and they love to catch fish. I can't imagine. I've never been a bass fisherman, but some people, that is their jam. Here's what I love. I love helping people. And I'm going to help so many people feel so good. And I am going to celebrate so many people that feel so good. And I am going to help them make a lot of money. And some are going to want to do it and some aren't going to want to do it. And that's okay because I can't help everybody, right? I can't push a rope. I can't make you believe that you're worth more than you believe that you're worth, but I'm going to try. And I'm just going to say to you, I hope today shakes you up. And I hope that you get in the right room. And I hope you stop listening to the people that want to pull you back down in the bucket. And I hope some of you are probably sleeping with the enemy. And you don't have to comment that you're sleeping with the enemy. Just smash the heart button. Then it'll go away, right? it is very important that you get on the same page with the people that you're around. And if that is you, you just need to have a sit down with your family and say, this is my dream. This is the direction that I'm going. This is the belief that I have. This is what I'm going to do. I would love your support. I would love you to believe in me while I do what I'm about to do. And we had that sit down in our family a year ago. We knew it was going to be hard. We knew we weren't going to be chilling on a vacation on a beach somewhere. We knew we weren't going to be on a family cruise. We knew I couldn't just be hanging out with grandkids every day like I had been. We knew it was going to be a lot of planes and a lot of trains and a lot of drives and a lot of money and a lot of Zooms. And we knew when we started there was going to be opposition. But we knew with so much belief and conviction we were going to do it. How we were going to do it, we had no idea. But Les Brown said, how it's going to happen is none of your business. All you have to know is it's going to happen. And if you don't know about Les Brown, Live Your Dream, read that book, go look up the podcast. It's Not Over Until I Win. I never cried so many tears listening to Les Brown scream to me, it's not over. No, it's not over. It's not over. It's not over. Like I heard it at least 40 times. Until you win. It's not over. And I think so many people feel like they should just throw in the towel. A 747 a day in America is overdosing on fentanyl. Every 60 seconds, someone pulls the trigger or takes something and ends their life. I've lost several friends this year. My age, grandmas, moms, sisters, like not my mom, not my sister, but watching my friends. Like I have a friend just an hour and a half away from us that had a beautiful family, like 4 daughters, a couple boys, a lot of grandkids, just wrote a letter, took enough stuff to stop her heart and checked out. And I think about that and I'm like, how could we make impact? Mental health, it's real. I sold so many assets to create a product to help with cognitive thinking, with mood swing, with the way that people feel, the brain, if you will, because this brain runs this whole body. And this brain is only 4% of your body, but it does 25% of the work. And when the mind gets beat down, according to Dr. Rob, and all of a sudden it can't take 25% of the energy of this whole body, then what the attack is on is whatever doesn't have enough energy. Your heart, your liver, your stomach, your respiratory. How many of you are like, I don't know what came on, but my back hurts so bad? Yeah, it's the thoughts that you're having. It's the emotions that are triggering different organs in your body to feel the way they feel, because that organ has to have enough energy to survive, because this one up here can't have the 25%. It's like an overdrawn bank account. It's just a struggle. And then people are like, I don't know what happened. She was so healthy. Yeah, it's thoughts. It's emotions. It's trauma. It's PTSD. It's your nervous system. It's you doing the worst case scenario about a situation, because when you had that thought, you had an emotion because of what's happened in your past. It hasn't even happened yet, but you're immediately going to like worst case scenario. And then all of that starts to come up. And my husband is really good at helping walk someone off a ledge mentally when they want to give up, when they're finding all the worst case scenarios, when they're reacting. He's gotten really good at not reacting because he does the work every single day. If you haven't read the book, The Surrender Experiment, or Practicing the Art of Surrender, Jim Rohn has a great old series, The Art of Exceptional Living. A lot of people have quit listening to the good stuff that we grew up on. And thank goodness Dave and I had a mentor in our career that said, you got to put good stuff in every day. You got to get new jelly in the donut. Otherwise, it's an old, stale donut. And some people don't do the work to put in the right thoughts that then become things. And so they continue to get what they've always got. And I want you to have more. I want you to be more. I want you to do more. I want you to make more. I want you to be celebrated more. I want you to be loved more. I want you to win more. I want you to be seen more. And nobody can do that for you. You got to make a decision. So the last thing that I would say is what I started with. If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do? Why wouldn't you just go do it? Because there's really no way you can fail unless you don't try. I would rather have tried and failed than to never have tried at all. And imagine if a year ago we wouldn't have burned the ships, sold the houses, got rid of the med spa, took the money, wired it to a formulator, and created this little stick of rice. Oh my gosh, the impact that has been made from a single little thought that then we said is creating this emotion. And then we said, what do we do? And then we said, why? Why would we want to do that? And the why was so big, it outweighed anything that was negative. The why, when the dream is so big, the facts won't count. When the why is such a burning desire for you, nothing will stop you. And so many people go through their life just going through the motions. Like they're going to work, they're making the paycheck, they're paying the bills, but they're just bored. Like there's no uncertainty, there's no risk, there's no excitement, there's no adventure. It's when relationships go stale, right? It's when you just settle. And I guess I'll end with this. Stop settling. Know that you can have and do and be anything you dream of. You just got to get around the right people to tell you that your imagination has no limits. And this is your year. There's 90 days left in this year. Let's freaking go. Let's draw a line in the sand and say, I'm not going to put up with this anymore. I'm going to 10x my income. I'm going to 10x my relationships. I'm going to 10x everything, my mental, my workout. I'm going to explode my income. Like the minute that you say that, when you move, God moves. But nobody can push a rope, right? You're not a tree. You can move. You're not set in stone doing what you're doing. I'm going today to celebrate my daughter's, I think, 5-year anniversary with her store in Tulsa. And 6 years ago, she was graduating K-State with a 4.0, going to school to be a doctor, going to Kansas City, getting into med school. And then all of a sudden, just like that, God put a dream in her heart. She said, I'm going to pivot. And I'm sure it was a hard conversation. Like, Mom and Dad, are you going to be mad if I don't use my education and go do what everyone thinks I should go do? And then she just became a little boss. And think if she would have just done what everyone else assumed she was going to do. Think if she would have felt pressured. Well, I got to do this because that's what everyone else in my family is doing or whatever. No, like you got to go be you. And now we're going to celebrate her anniversary sale today. She isn't even in Tulsa. She lives in Germany or Kansas City or wherever she wants to be. But she took a risk and she followed a dream. So did my son Chance with 2 stores in Arizona. This is before Frequence. This is before we were having such an explosive pre-launch to a new company. Like they were dreaming. They were taking a risk. They were going against the grain. They were doing what they wanted to do. And I was getting out of their way and being their number one cheerleader because no dream is crazy. Whatever your wildest, craziest dream is, you can have. And if you can't get yourself mentally there, close your eyes and imagine that you're driving home from the convenience store. Well, you're not driving with your eyes closed, but you have your eyes closed right now. And you're listening to the Powerball numbers. Anybody know what Powerball is at right now? Anybody have any idea? I have no idea. I don't buy lottery tickets, but a lot of people do. But let's say you got all the numbers to the Powerball and it was all yours. And they were like, you're going to need some write-offs. Like you're going to have to put this money somewhere by the end of the year. Since nobody wrote what they would do if they knew they couldn't fail, how about we drop in the comments right now? What's the first thing you're going to do when you get your Powerball money? What's the first thing you go do? Anybody? What you going to do? What is it? 48 million or something? Like you're going to need some write-offs. What would you do? I tell you exactly what I would do today. I would go buy like 350 acres right across the lake just so when I was ready and I didn't have to work this hard, I would be building my dream home with a little compound and all my kids around me, right? Booking a trip, paying off your car, paying off debt, quitting your job. I see you starting a nonprofit, giving to your church, helping your mom, helping pay off college loans for your kids. I see you. And here's the thing. Why not you? Why not right now? Why not? You have to make that decision. And the minute you do, I'm telling you, the resources will line up, the people will line up, the opportunities will line up, the mentor will line up. But if you want your ship to come in, you got to get down there on the dock. Like, I can't stay up here and think my ship's going to come in down there. I got to make a move. And so do you. So we're crushing it over here. It's fun. The boulder is needing a lot of pushing. It is taking a ton of energy. We are spending a lot of time. We are doing the hard things on a daily basis, long enough consistently. But I'm telling you, we're going to number one. I know that we're going to be the number one company that makes more impact, helps more people, make more money, and have better health and live a longer quality of life and feel good now every single day. Every single day. And the stories are coming in and they're like, thank God you're pushing the boulder. Thank God you took the risk. I'm telling you, your dream in your heart, people will be saying, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so glad you did this. Follow your dreams. Follow your dreams and quit letting the suckers suck them out of you. Go get around the people that are builders, not suckers. And I hope that I'm one of those in your life. So you guys have an amazing day. If you got some great content here, please share this on your wall. Tag a friend that has stopped dreaming. Tag a friend that is struggling with their mental game. Tag a friend that needs encouragement. Tag a mentor that said, you made a difference. Tell them you made a difference in my life. I love you because this is what you gave to me. Like, just put them in these comments with the @ in their name and tell them why you're thinking of them right now. Maybe it's your kid, maybe it's your sister, maybe it's your niece, your nephew. If we don't encourage people and build them up, we don't even know the ones that are struggling. And if you don't do it, who else is going to? Who else is going to? Because everyone's just conforming. They're just hanging out comfy like a bunch of crawdads getting cooked in the boiling water. They're just sitting in the water. It's comfy. I'm relaxed. I don't have to do anything out of my comfort zone. And then one day they're cooked and they're like, damn, I didn't know we were getting cooked. I'm telling you, you're getting cooked every single day. A day is going away. Time is wasting. One more day off your calendar. And one day, while you're waiting on conditions to be right, you're going to be out of time. And you're either I took action and I made impact and I built an empire and left a legacy, or I just conformed and I was average like everyone else. Quit being average. That's not why God created you. Mediocrity is a sickness that people get into because it just feels good to be okay. Stop it. That's not why God created you. Go out there, dream really, really big dreams. Work on them every single day so they're fresh in your mind. You become what you think about. You will become what you think about every single day. And some of you are thinking about debt and divorce and taxes and the economy, an election, your dumb, stupid brother or sister-in-law or brother-in-law or whatever you're thinking about. Go get your hopes up. Go think about something good. Process your thoughts. Control your emotions. Don't react. And stay focused on what you want. And I'm telling you, what you want wants you will attract it. I love you guys. I'll see you next week on No Guts, No Story. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the share. And thank you for tagging a friend in the comments.